In the sweltering summer of 1518, an ordinary morning in Strasbourg turned unsettling when one woman, Frau Trophia, stepped onto the cobblestones and began to dance. People stopped to watch as Frau Trophia twirled relentlessly, arms and body moving with no music, no joy, just a silent compulsion. Whispers of madness swept through the crowd. Hour after hour, day after day, she did not stop. Strangers gaped as her feet bled and her body shook with fierce, involuntary motion. As days passed, more citizens joined her. At first a handful, then dozens, drawn by what, no one could say. They, too, could not stop, their faces twisted in agony. Families and friends pleaded with the dancers to rest, but pure desperation showed in their wide eyes. Some begged for help. None could control their bodies. The city's streets filled with over 400 people, all convulsing in an unyielding, feverish dance. Panic gripped Strasbourg. Physicians and clergy gathered. Was it madness? Divine punishment? Poisoning? No answers grew clear, only more questions and mounting fear. Dancers began to collapse, drained and broken. Some never rose again, dying from exhaustion, heart attacks, or pure despair right where they fell. Through the chaos, life in Strasbourg thinned. Merchants closed shops. Families stayed indoors. The city pulsed to the relentless rhythm of sleepless feet. As the weeks dragged on, the dancing plague left devastation in its wake, scars not just of flesh and bone, but of confusion, sorrow, and dread. In the summer of 1518, the city of Strasbourg buzzed with confusion and fear. A mysterious dancing plague had gripped its people, sending hundreds into uncontrollable movement. Exhausted, sweat-soaked dancers collapsed in the streets. City leaders called for doctors, desperate for answers to this strange and deadly outbreak. Doctors examined the victims and delivered their verdict. Hot blood coursed through the dancers' veins, making them move against their will. Under this belief, the city built wooden stages and hired musicians. Instead of stopping, they demanded the afflicted dance even more, hoping exhaustion would cure them. The plan backfired horribly. The crowds grew. Music echoed through the streets. The dancing and dying intensified as hope faded into horror. Finally, authorities intervened again, music was banned and the ill were moved to a distant shrine dedicated to Saint Vitus, praying for a miracle. Weeks of chaos passed. Slowly, the frenzied dance died down. The city quieted, but haunting questions lingered on every street corner. Centuries later, experts still puzzle over the cause. Was it a hallucinogenic fungus, or ergot, in contaminated bread that unleashed these wild movements? Some say ergot poisoning couldn't have caused such frenzied, organized dancing. Its victims usually suffered seizures or paralysis, not relentless motion. Another camp points to mass hysteria. Life in Strasbourg was bleak from famine, fear, and superstition. Was this a case of stress turned viral, ordinary people caught in an extraordinary trance? Religious explanations persisted, too. Perhaps, townsfolk whispered, the plague was a curse from Saint Vitus, or a punishment from darker forces. The dancing plague remains a riddle. The fear, faith, and desperation that gripped a city centuries ago still dance in our imagination today.
But modern science still does not have a complete answer. The dancing plague of 1518 remains one of the strangest events in recorded history. It was not the first dancing epidemic, either. Similar outbreaks occurred in other parts of Europe during the Middle Ages. Groups of people would dance uncontrollably for days or weeks. Why dancing? Why not screaming? Why not running? Why did the body choose rhythm as its expression of distress? Perhaps the answer lies in the human mind. When societies experience extreme trauma, stress can manifest physically. The body reacts when the mind cannot cope. The people of Strasbourg lived in a time of uncertainty. Plague outbreaks were common. Food shortages were frequent. Death was always near. In such conditions, fear becomes powerful. The dancing plague reminds us that humans are deeply connected. Emotions spread. Panic spreads. Behavior spreads. Even today, mass psychological events occur, though rarely in such dramatic ways. The streets of Strasbourg eventually returned to normal. The music stopped. The stages were removed. Life continued. But for weeks in 1518, the city became a place where people danced themselves to death. No enemy invaded. No war was declared. No visible disease spread. Yet people died in the streets, moving to a rhythm no one else could hear. The dancing plague is a reminder that history is not only shaped by wars and kings but by mysteries we still cannot fully explain. What truly happened in Strasbourg? Was it poison? Panic? Faith? Or something else entirely? 500 years later, we are still asking the same question. And perhaps that is what makes this story so disturbing. Because the greatest mysteries are not the ones we solve, but the ones that reveal how little we understand about ourselves. History is silent, but its strangest stories continue to move.